Welcome to Charlie's Chills, where we unravel bone-chilling real haunted stories from around the world. I'm Charlie, your host, bringing you tales from the internet and our listeners that will haunt your dreams. Follow us on X, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook at Charlie's Chills for your daily dose of spookiness. If you're creeped out and captivated, like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform. And if you want to dive deeper into the shadows, contribute through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. All links in the description. Now, without further ado, let's dive into the world of Charlie's Chills. Let me take you back to 2014, a year that marked the beginning of my filmmaking journey in college and a year that would forever haunt my memories. This is the story of my first short film, a horror project that became the stuff of nightmares. I've directed 10 short films since then, won awards, but this first one, it's like an unshakable curse that refuses to let go. Back then, my friends and I were passionate about filmmaking, and the horror genre intrigued us the most. We embarked on a journey to create a horror short film, with me as the director, despite my lack of experience. Little did we know, this project would haunt us in more ways than one. Our story began in a graveyard, a place teeming with eerie legends and unsettling vibes. We didn't take any precautions, no prayers, and certainly no permissions. We ventured into this foreboding location, filming from 2 p.m. until 4 p.m., as darkness slowly crept in. The first ominous sign came when one of my friends heard a voice, urging him to get out of here. He dismissed it as a prank, but it was a warning we should have heeded. Instead, we continued to shoot, only for our camera to abruptly shut down. When my friend managed to restart it, the screen was covered in a strange, foggy haze, rendering us unable to see anything. That should have been our cue to leave, but we pressed on. That night, another friend encountered two spirits in his own home, an elderly lady and a small girl. The following day, we all had unsettling nightmares, and over lunch, we shared our disturbing dreams. Days turned into weeks, and we persisted with our shoot. But things took a darker turn. The female cast member playing the ghost began acting strangely, growing weaker and weirder by the day. Concerned, we decided to take a short trip near our college area, and I stayed behind for an important class. When they returned and shared their pictures, one video caught my eye, a video we promptly deleted after watching. In it, the girl who portrayed the ghost, appeared alarmingly feeble, struggling to walk. They had taken a group photo during the trip, and during the video recording, suddenly displayed bizarre behavior. Her face twisted into a horrifying expression, an evil smile crept across her lips, and she then slumped back into weakness. It wasn't until later, upon reviewing the footage, that we noticed her eerie transformation. That evening, we sought the help of a priest, who revealed that had been possessed by a spirit during our graveyard shoot. Our troubles didn't stop there, all of us began suffering from relentless nightmares. Personally, I felt an eerie presence watching over me as I slept, a sensation that never seemed to fade. Desperate for answers, I consulted a shaman, who gave me a chilling warning: stop the movie, or you will suffer even greater losses in the future. After a tense discussion with my filmmaking team, we made the painful decision to abandon the project. Things gradually returned to normal, but the cursed footage still sits on my friend's laptop. Every attempt to edit it results in the laptop mysteriously shutting down. To this day, I remain perplexed by our harrowing experience, and the cursed movie has never seen the light of day. Other teams have approached me, eager to complete the film, but only we know the chilling nightmares that await anyone who dares to tread on this cursed ground. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at charlieshills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends.
Before I begin, let me set the stage. This eerie tale unfolded during my time in a school dormitory with 3 of my closest friends. Picture a square room with semi-bunk beds in each corner. These semi-bunk beds are akin to bunk beds, but instead of another bed underneath, there's a desk and a dresser. The front door is sandwiched between 2 semi-bunk beds on the right, and the bathroom stands on the opposite side. Now that you have the layout in mind, here's the story. Living in our school dormitory, we 4 friends had settled into a routine. We usually hit the hay around midnight. Jia, one of our friends, had the bed closest to the front door, which also happened to be next to the light switch. It was her responsibility to turn off the lights once she saw that we were all cozily tucked into our beds. One night, as we snuggled under our covers, Jia performed her usual duty and switched off the lights. We were all set for a peaceful night's sleep. However, just a few minutes after the room plunged into darkness, we heard it, heavy, hurried footsteps racing down the corridor outside our room. This occurrence wasn't uncommon. In fact, these late-night footfalls were somewhat routine. We chuckled, brushing it off as just another odd noise in our dormitory. We settled back into our slumber, but then it happened. Loud, insistent knocks, bang bang, rang out on our door. Irritation rippled through us, particularly Jia, given that her bed was right beside the door. Bang bang, the second round of knocking was forceful enough to jolt us all awake. We were baffled and annoyed. It was past midnight. Why would anyone be pounding on our door at this hour? Annoyed, Jia yelled, "Who is it?" No response. She leaned down to unlock the door and cautiously swung it open. To our shock, there was no one there, just an empty, dimly lit corridor. She stuck her head out and scanned the hallway, not a soul in sight. She swiftly shut the door. We sat in stunned silence for a while, exchanging uneasy glances illuminated by the soft glow of our phone screens. Finally, May broke the silence. "Who was that?" Jia, her voice trembling slightly, replied, "There was no one there. Let's just go back to bed." We all knew something was amiss, but we decided not to make a fuss about it. So, we returned to our beds, and thankfully, nothing out of the ordinary occurred the following days. We assumed it was a prank or maybe just something or someone who had wanted to get in. Fast forward to last year, and a similar eerie incident happened to my sister in Taiwan. She was residing in her university dormitory during the Hungry Ghost Month, a time often associated with supernatural occurrences. It was around 8 to 9 p.m., and she was going about her nightly skincare routine, with 2 roommates in the same room. Suddenly, she heard 3 distinct knocks on their door. Without hesitation, she stood up and went to open it, only to be met with an unsettling void. No one was there. Perplexed, she glanced around the hallway. It was eerily deserted. She returned to her desk and asked her roommates if they'd heard the knocking too. To her surprise, only one of them had heard it. The other was bewildered by her abrupt departure to answer the door. Oddly enough, a friend of theirs living in the opposite building shared a similar experience. Some heard the knocks, while others remained oblivious to the unsettling phenomenon. The inexplicable occurrences left us all with more questions than answers, and the unsettling memories of those eerie nights still linger in our minds.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at Charlieshills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends. I want to share a couple of stories that happened in a hospital in Sabah. These encounters took place while my family was caring for our ailing loved ones, and they still send shivers down my spine. The first incident occurred when my grandfather on my mom's side was seriously ill due to old age. My mom and her sisters were taking turns caring for him during his hospital stay. It was the day before my grandfather's passing, and my mom had drifted off to sleep while sitting beside him. She awoke in the dim light of dawn, her eyes fluttering open. As she sat there, she noticed something chilling. Hanging from one of the hospital divider drapes used to separate patients' beds, she saw figures. She could discern the details of each figure vividly. It was a woman, dressed in a white gown, but there were no legs, no hands, and no neck. Her head was eerily attached directly to her body, her long hair cascading down. Her most striking feature was her enormous eyes, with lashes so long they curved towards her forehead. The figure hung there, gazing at my mom with an intensity that sent a chill down her spine. Slowly, it slid along the side of the divider, and then, it vanished. My mom told me that she didn't dare to move during this eerie encounter. She covered half of her face with a towel while keeping her eyes on the figure. Even now, I can't help but picture that haunting face. What happened next sent shivers down my spine. The very next day, my grandfather passed away. My mom firmly believes that the hanging figure was a death angel. Perhaps it was there to escort him to the afterlife. We may never truly know until it's our time. The second story also takes place in a Sabah hospital, but this time, it's not as frightening as it is poignant. It's about my grandmother on my mom's side. My mom was taking care of her, and her sisters were all asleep. She was the first to wake up and found herself sitting a bit away from her mother's bed. She glanced over at her, and this time, there was a nurse in the room, likely preparing medication or attending to some task. My mom watched her mother closely as she lay comatose in her bed. Suddenly, my grandmother turned around to look at my mom and waved her hand, a heartbreaking goodbye. My mom couldn't believe her eyes. Her grandmother had been in a comatose state just moments before. Without taking her eyes off her grandmother, she hesitated. Then, she heard the nurse call her name. She tried to get up but was momentarily blocked by the bed railing. As she stood and her sight was unblocked, she saw her grandmother back in a peaceful sleeping position. The nurse calmly said to my mom, "I know what you saw, because I saw it too." Not long after that, my grandmother entered a state of struggle, took a deep breath, and peacefully passed away. My mom couldn't hold back her tears, but she also couldn't forget the inexplicable encounter she'd had earlier. She shared the story with all her sisters, and the memory of that haunting wave still lingers in her mind. Rest in peace, Grandpa and Grandma, for your stories will forever haunt our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at Charlieshills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends. On a rainy night last year, my family and I decided to indulge in some karaoke after a hearty dinner. The soft patter of raindrops against the windows added a cozy ambience to our gathering. I recall it was around 10 o'clock when an unexpected event unfolded, sending shivers down our spines. My grandma, her face as pale as a ghost, rushed into the house from the outside kitchen, her voice trembling as she urgently called my youngest sister's name. We were all instantly gripped by a sense of confusion and concern. My dad began questioning her in Dusun, Sabah's indigenous language, trying to unravel the mystery behind her distress. According to my grandma, as she was diligently washing the dishes in the back corner of the kitchen, an eerie sensation washed over her. She couldn't quite put her finger on it, but it felt as though someone, or something, was watching her. A creeping unease settled in, compelling her to turn around and confront whatever lurked behind her. What met her gaze sent a shiver down her spine. There, standing at a mere 140 centimeters, the height of a 10 to 12-year-old girl, was a figure cloaked in a black and white striped dress. The moment her eyes locked onto the apparition, she knew it was not of this world. The figure's shape and form defied natural explanation, but it was the absence of a face that chilled her to the core. Where a girl's face should have been, there was nothing but a disconcerting, twisted blur of features. My grandma's scream echoed through the night, a reaction born of sheer terror. My sister and I wasted no time and rushed to the back of the house to investigate. The rain outside continued to pour, and the pattering of raindrops on the roof drowned our words in a symphony of white noise. We scoured the area, our hearts pounding, but found nothing out of the ordinary. Defeated, we returned indoors. There, I noticed my grandma meticulously gathering dried onion and garlic skins, bundling them up in a piece of newspaper. She took her makeshift bundle and set it ablaze just outside the door. It was an old, traditional Dusun method, an attempt to cleanse and ward off malevolent spirits with the pungent aroma. Once my grandma had regained some semblance of composure, she recounted her unsettling encounter to us. She speculated that the figure could have been a passerby seeking shelter from the relentless rain. It was not uncommon for people to take refuge from the weather in our vicinity. However, she added with a furrowed brow, her face, or whatever I saw, was really abnormal. It was distorted, it wasn't clear, just not normal. We offered reassurance, attributing the figure's disappearance to the potent scent of garlic that had driven it away. And, for the remainder of the night, the faceless visitor did not return. Yet, the enigmatic encounter lingered in our memories, a chilling reminder of the inexplicable and eerie events that can transpire on a rainy night. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook at Charlieshills to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends.
I'll never forget that day, years ago when I was just a little girl of 5 or 6. Now, I'm 27, and this eerie memory still sends chills down my spine. I live with my grandparents, alongside my brother, who's 2 years older than me. Our parents had divorced, leaving us in the care of our loving grandparents. Our grandparents had a lush backyard, graced by 3 massive and towering durian trees. My brother and I had an insatiable love for durians. Every time we returned from school, our hearts would race with excitement as we rushed to the backyard, hoping to find these delicious fruits strewn on the ground, especially during durian season. It was a sort of unspoken competition between us. Whoever spotted and grabbed a durian first would be the winner and didn't have to share with the other. Looking back, I know it sounds childish, but to us, it was a thrilling game. One sunny day, as usual, my brother and I ventured into the backyard on our quest for durians. However, that day, luck wasn't on our side. We couldn't find a single durian, and a sense of disappointment began to settle over me. In my foolishness, I decided to stand beneath one of the durian trees, directly below its sprawling branches, and right beside the sturdy trunk. I peered around the trunk, hoping to spot any hidden durians lying in the dirt. In that very moment, I heard a distinctive click sound above my head, accompanied by the rustling of leaves and the unmistakable sound of something heavy plummeting through the branches. I recognized that sound all too well. It was the sound of a durian falling. Durians are known for their loud thuds when they hit the ground, and you can hear it from quite a distance, even inside our grandparents' house. I turned my gaze toward my brother, who was standing nearby. He was looking at me with wide eyes, clearly registering the same sound that had just rattled my senses. We stood there, frozen in silence, our hearts pounding in our chests. Seeing my brother's expression, I knew he had heard the durian falling above my head too. Time seemed to slow down for me, and a wave of thoughts and emotions rushed through my mind. I pictured a future with a lopsided head or, worse, an early demise that would rob me of experiencing adulthood and married life. Thoughts of my family's reaction to my untimely death raced through my mind. What would become of them? Amidst this mental chaos, a voice within me whispered reassurance. It told me everything would be all right. An angel was going to save me. It urged me to step aside. It wasn't too late. Slowly, I managed to regain my composure and turned to look at my brother once more. He was still staring at me, his expression a mix of shock and confusion. I debated whether to heed the inner voice and step away from the imminent danger. Could I trust it? Would it really protect me? I decided to take a leap of faith and moved my legs, stepping away from my previous spot. Within mere seconds of my movement, the durian crashed to the ground precisely where I had been standing just moments before. To this day, when my brother and I recall that harrowing incident, he admits he was utterly shocked at the time, unable to comprehend how I had remained so composed, even having the presence of mind to look up at the falling durian and step away unscathed. It remains a chilling reminder of a guardian angel's intervention, a mysterious force that spared me from a potentially tragic fate beneath the durian tree.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at Charlieshills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends.
I was in my senior year when this eerie incident unfolded at SK Pajar Sejingkat, about 5 or 6 years ago. During that time, there was a strange fascination among the kids at our school with haunted games like Charlie Charlie Pencil, Bloody Mary, and the Ouija board, among others. It all happened during a week leading up to the holidays. I remember being in the school surau with my classmates, reciting the Quran, chatting with each other, and playing games like catch. Everything seemed normal until the whispers started circulating about students playing these spooky board games inside the surau. As we continued with our day, a sudden, bone-chilling shriek pierced the air, originating from one of the nearby school buildings, likely the 5th or 4th year classes. At first, we brushed it off, thinking it might be another instance of someone accidentally breaking a window, a not so uncommon occurrence in our school. But this time, the screams didn't stop. The scream was so piercing and unnerving that it felt like it was echoing within the very walls we were in. Without a moment's hesitation, the boys in my class dashed towards the source of the chilling screams. From our vantage point, we could see a classroom filled with chaos, students seemingly in a frenzy. If my memory serves me right, I recall seeing a student behaving violently towards others while some desperately tried to restrain them. The pandemonium showed no signs of abating, and some of us were instructed not to descend the stairs to join the commotion. Gradually, the cacophony began to subside, and the boys returned, visibly shaken. My friend, who had been among those who rushed to the scene, recounted that the students in the classroom had been playing one of those infamous haunted board games. I couldn't recall which one exactly, but my friend mentioned something about a student cutting their finger to release a solitary drop of blood onto a specific coin. These strange incidents continued to happen repeatedly until the school's ustaz and ustaza, male and female Islamic teachers, finally came to the conclusion that these bizarre occurrences, especially the initial incident, were linked to the sinister games we had been playing. In response, the school authorities organized a special assembly to sternly warn us about the dangers of indulging in such games, and after that day, we never dared to play those haunted games again. The eerie memories of that period still send shivers down my spine, a chilling reminder of the inexplicable events that unfolded at SK Pajar Sejingkat.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at Charlieshills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends.
When I was 11 years old, my school organized a 2-day, one-night camping experience in Masai, Johor, Malaysia. It was a Chinese school, and I'd rather not disclose its name. The camping event was exclusively for the 11-year-old students, or as per the Malaysian education system, the standard 5 students. We were a group of precisely 229 students, boys and girls together. The afternoon of our camping adventure went smoothly, as did the first half of the night. By 10 p.m., we were all gathered around for a barbecue session. I had a close-knit group of friends, 32 of us, boys and girls from various backgrounds and religions. My 6 best friends and I were usually the adventurous type, willing to dive headfirst into any supernatural situation. But that night, even our courage waned. That particular evening happened to be a Malam Jumat, which translates to Thursday night. Malaysians believe that on Thursday nights, ghosts are exceptionally active and prone to wander and disturb people more than on any other ordinary night. I recall making eerie howling sounds, just to remind my friends of the significance of the night. It was all in good fun and laughter until Amira, one of my 6 best friends, let out a blood-curdling scream. She claimed to have seen red eyes peering at us from the bell tower on top of the office building storage room. It wasn't just her, several other Chinese students had spotted it too. But when she yelled for us to look, there was nothing there. A chill swept through all of us, a feeling of unease gnawing at our insides. The teachers remained blissfully oblivious to our growing unease. We, the students, were silently panicking, gripped by an unsettling sense that something was amiss. Behind us loomed the building housing the standard 6 classrooms, cloaked in darkness. Some of us turned entirely in that direction, while others cautiously approached the building, yearning for a closer look. A few merely cast fleeting glances, trying to appear brave, though they were anything but. I was among those who ventured closer to the building, hoping for a better view. But to my dismay, I found nothing but an empty, dim corridor. However, when I directed my gaze toward the building that housed our classrooms, specifically the 5th classroom on the 4th floor, at the far end of the hallway beside the girls' restroom, I saw her, a woman with disheveled, pitch-black hair obscuring her face. She wore a long, blood-stained white dress and fixed her ghastly gaze squarely on all of us, the students. The most terrifying part? That was my classroom. I stood there, frozen in shock. Some fled toward the tents in the courtyard, others began screaming and sobbing, while some rushed to the restroom in a panic, accompanied by their friends. My group and a few others remained at the barbecue area. The teachers instructed us to continue eating at the camping site, with the large assembly hall for the girls and the smaller one for the boys. That night, a nightmarish memory etched in my mind, was one I could never forget. We had all seen her, that ghostly woman, and it had chilled us to the bone. Fortunately, she didn't disturb us further, apart from that spine-chilling encounter. In the aftermath, rumors circulated that our school was built on a graveyard, previously serving as a mental hospital before becoming our school. I never put much stock in those stories, as they lacked concrete evidence. However, I know what I saw that night with my own eyes, a ghostly woman standing in my classroom.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at Charlieshills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends.
I want to share a spine-tingling tale that took place in a high school located in the federal territory of Labuan, Malaysia. This eerie story unfolded during my high school days, and it still sends shivers down my spine. It was the time of our high-stakes exams, the SPM, and our school decided to organize a 5-day sleepover night class for us Form 5 students. Yes, all of us were girls, and we'd be staying in the school library for some last-minute study sessions. Why the library, you ask? Well, it was the only room equipped with air conditioning, making it bearable for us to study during the sweltering nights. I vividly recall that Thursday evening. My friend, whom we'll call M, and I were sitting by a serene pond on our school grounds, which were quite picturesque. It was a pleasant spot where we often relaxed after our morning and afternoon study sessions, eagerly awaiting dinner time. However, as fate would have it, that evening, a bird swooped down and left its mark on my shoulder. Looking back now, it feels like a bad omen, a sign of things to come. After dinner, around 9 or 10 p.m., M and I decided to visit the restroom. To reach the restroom from the library, we had to pass through our open-air hall, descend a few steps of stairs. This area was surrounded by trees and had a public phone, walk along a dimly lit open-air corridor, take a left turn, and finally, we'd arrive at the restroom. It was dark, but we felt safe together, and the restroom wasn't too far, so we didn't think much of it. After using the restroom, as we walked back to the library, M suddenly said, "Wait up, I need to make a quick call to my boyfriend." She headed toward the public phone near the steps, which left us in the middle area. All our classrooms were located on the upper side of the open-air hall, accessible via 2 grand staircases. At this hour, all the classrooms were dark, with no one around. It's a bit tricky to explain, but I hope you get the picture. That's when it happened, a loud, distinct sound of footsteps echoing down the staircase. It sounded like someone wearing rubber slippers descending the stairs. Panic surged through me, as I thought a teacher was coming to check on us. I urged M to end the call quickly, fearing we'd get into trouble. She heard the footsteps too and abruptly hung up. As we hastened our pace, she suddenly grabbed my arm and asked, "Did you see anyone else here besides us?" We both scanned the surroundings, but there was no one in sight. So who could have been making those ominous footsteps? We exchanged uneasy glances, linked arms, and calmly made our way back to the library. Once inside, we recounted the strange incident to our teacher, urging her to check outside as we suspected someone might have been attempting to break in. I remember our teacher's pale face when we told her, but she dismissed our concerns. The next morning, some students revealed another eerie detail. They warned us never to gaze at the tree in front of our library at night but didn't explain why, simply saying, "Just don't look." They also mentioned hearing the sound of a baby crying, though thankfully, I hadn't heard it myself. Our school had a rich history and was managed by sisters, nuns. The former headmistress, known as the Old Sister, had passed away. Many students claimed to have seen a glowing lady in the evening, whom they believed to be the spirit of the departed headmistress. Years later, after sharing this story on a spooky Facebook page, a junior from my school reached out to me. She had encountered something inexplicable as well. It happened in broad daylight during a regular school day. While visiting the restroom, she spotted a girl in our school uniform, white and blue, standing in a corner, facing the wall. When my junior walked past her and later exited the cubicle, she still saw the girl in the same spot, unmoving and facing the wall. She tried talking to her, but the girl remained unresponsive. Terrified, my junior fled from the restroom as quickly as she could, relieved that the mysterious girl didn't turn around to reveal her face.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at Charlieshills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends. I'm from Bintulu, Sarawak, and I have a story to share. It's a tale from my sister's own harrowing experience, and to this day, it remains one of the scariest stories I've ever heard. So, allow me to recount it on her behalf. It was an ordinary night in our hometown, the air heavy with humidity, and my mood weighed down by impending doom. A mathematics exam awaited me the next day. I was toiling away with my exercise book, drowning in a sea of endless practice questions. My parents had retired to bed, their alarms set for the morning shift, and my sisters were sound asleep. Our house boasted 3 bedrooms, all situated on the upper floor. My sisters shared one room, while my parents occupied the master bedroom. I, on the other hand, had the privilege of a small room to myself. My second sister, Miranda, awoke suddenly in the dead of night. The weather was sweltering, the air thick with humidity. She slept next to the bedroom wall, so when she opened her eyes, her gaze fell upon it. What she saw shook her to her very core. She described it as the face of an elderly woman, her gnarled claws painted a sinister shade of red, emerging from the wall. It was as though she was trapped in a 3D horror movie. Fear gripped her, but she resisted the urge to scream, wary of provoking whatever sinister presence lurked within. Instead, she turned to my eldest sister, hoping to wake her from slumber, but her attempts were in vain. Desperation set in, and she considered the possibility of hallucination. She turned her gaze back to the wall, only to find the apparition drawing nearer, extending an eerie invitation toward her. In a hushed, haunting whisper, it beckoned, "Come to me. Come to me." Miranda felt paralyzed with dread, tears streaming down her face as she let out a feeble cry for help. Strangely, it was as if her screams fell upon deaf ears, including mine as I continued my studies downstairs, oblivious to the horrors unfolding above. Overwhelmed by despair, she squeezed her eyes shut and began to pray fervently, seeking divine intervention to free her from this living nightmare. She prayed ceaselessly, even as the apparition persisted in its eerie enticement. Eventually, exhaustion overcame her, and she drifted into a fitful sleep, unwilling to face the nightmarish creature that haunted her. The following day, Miranda arose for her classes as if nothing had transpired, but she bore peculiar markings on her hands that defied explanation. She recounted her terrifying ordeal to us, but our parents dismissed it as a mere dream, despite the unexplained marks on her hands. To this day, my sister remains haunted by the memory, dreading the prospect of waking up in the middle of the night and steadfastly refusing to sleep facing a wall. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook, at charlieschills, to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends. Before I dive into this eerie tale, let me clarify that it's based on my sister's own unsettling experience. So, here we go. To set the stage, picture my sister's bedroom. Her bed occupies the center of the room, with her sleeping on the left side, near the front door. On the right side, there's a window, and on the left, the bedroom door and her trusty night lamp. Now, for all you gamers out there, you're probably familiar with Call of Duty Mobile. It's an addicting game, and my sister would often indulge in a few sessions before calling it a night. Sometimes, she'd even drift off to sleep with the game still going. One fateful night, my sister had a dream that she had awakened in the middle of the night, groggily realizing she'd fallen asleep again after her gaming session. The room was dimly lit by her night lamp, and she glanced around, not quite fully awake yet. Her eyes settled on the right side of the room, where she saw a towering, shadowy figure standing beside the window. Intrigued and slightly alarmed, she blinked, and to her astonishment, the tall figure transformed into a lady with long, jet-black hair. This lady remained eerily still, standing in the same spot, and she fixed her gaze on my sister. "Miss, do you know how to install the internet?" the lady figure inquired. Still half laying on her bed, my sister responded, "Oh, just give me a few minutes. It's too dark in here for me to see. I'll turn on the lights." With that, she turned toward the left, but as she lay there, she seemed to forget her intention. For a brief moment, she simply lay in the dark, until the realization dawned on her that she had meant to switch on the lights. As she sat up and glanced back to the lady, she saw the figure attempting to climb onto her bed. But as soon as my sister shifted her gaze, the figure froze in place. The next thing my sister remembers is drifting back to sleep, and then waking up in the present moment. She realized that she was indeed awake in her room, her curiosity piqued by her strange dream. Turning to the right, she was met with sheer shock. There, in the same spot as in her dream, the lady figure stood, waiting, staring at her. My sister feigned ignorance, pretending she hadn't noticed anything out of the ordinary. She swiftly left her room to use the bathroom in another part of the house. While washing her face and body in the bathroom, my sister heard a soft, distinctly feminine voice uttering a drawn-out from somewhere outside the bathroom. Instantly, her heart raced, and she rushed back to her room. There, she slipped under her blanket, trembling, and didn't emerge until the first light of dawn. What struck her as particularly eerie about the voice was that it seemed to emanate from just outside the window. Yet, she was on the second floor of the house, making it utterly inexplicable for anyone to be lingering on the rooftop at that hour. To this day, my sister remains haunted by her bewildering encounter, her very first brush with the supernatural. She shared with me that in her dream, the lady's face had been strikingly clear, but the moment she awoke and glimpsed at the lady's face in reality, it had appeared blurred, sending shivers down her spine. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just ventured into another eerie tale from the depths of the unknown. But fear not, there's more spine-tingling content coming your way after this short break. While we take a breather, remember to follow us on X, formerly Twitter, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook at Charlieshills to stay updated on all things supernatural. If you've been enjoying these chilling stories, be sure to like, share, and subscribe, or follow, depending on your platform, so you never miss a heart-pounding episode. And for those brave souls who want to support our quest for the paranormal, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. So, don't wander too far. We'll be back with more hair-raising tales, inexplicable encounters, and unsettling mysteries. Stay tuned, because Charlie's Chills returns in just a moment. Keep those lights on, my friends. I've always been intrigued by the eerie tale my father once shared with me about our late grandmother's house in the village. It revolved around an abandoned well tucked away at the back of the property, a well that had remained untouched since the aftermath of a war in the early 70s. Despite its desolation, this well still had water trickling from its depths. The bricks and stones surrounding it had crumbled over time, and my grandfather had made futile attempts to fill it with dirt and soil. But each time he tried, the well would mysteriously replenish with water, as though it resisted all human efforts to seal it off. So, we had resigned ourselves to let it be. My father had a peculiar routine. Every weekend morning, he would fetch buckets of water from this abandoned well to wash his car. One foggy morning, though, an event unfolded that would forever haunt him. As he approached the well, he heard the soft murmur of women's voices, punctuated by playful giggles. He halted in his tracks, his heart racing, and to his astonishment, he saw faint shadows of women bathing in the well. One of the ladies began to sing, her voice a haunting melody that sent shivers down my father's spine. The tune was enchanting, a continuous hum. It was unlike anything he had ever heard. Fear gripped him, and without a second thought, he turned and fled to the safety of the house, leaving behind the surreal and spine-tingling sight. His sudden and unexplained disappearance startled everyone in the house. For a whole week, he kept his strange encounter a secret, concealing the fever that had gripped him. It was only after confiding in my grandmother that the truth emerged. She couldn't help but laugh heartily, chiding him for not heeding her earlier warnings. As it turned out, she had always cautioned him to stay away from the well and its vicinity. She shared an unsettling revelation, stating that it was a place frequented by the Pewtery Bunyan, the ethereal princess of the elves, and her companions. This had been an ongoing phenomenon, which explained why my grandfather had struggled to seal the well. Following this chilling incident, my father never ventured near that area again. Whenever I bring up this story, my mother bursts into fits of laughter at my father's expense. Now, it all remains a distant memory, as that house was eventually demolished after the passing of my grandparents. Yet, the unsettling encounter with the supernatural in our grandmother's backyard continues to send shivers down my spine. As we wrap up another spine-tingling episode of Charlie's Chills, thank you, fearless listeners, for joining our eerie exploration. Keep the chills alive by following us on X, Threads, Instagram, and Facebook at Charlieshills. Like, share, subscribe, or follow, and stay connected. For those who dare to venture further, consider contributing through buymeacoffee.com/charlieschills. Your support fuels our haunting tales. Find all the links in the description. Stay haunted, stay curious, and stay tuned for more chilling stories. This is Charlie, signing off.